G'day, it's Dan here from 𝗼𝗂𝗄𝗏 Brewers in Nelson, top of the South Island of New Zealand, and here I'm in my brewery today, and I'm going to turn some old oxidised, maybe a bad fermentation beverage basically. So I've got some old wine that's been designated for cooking. This was actually some home brew wine. It was pretty good when it was drinkable, but now it's just beyond palatable. So basically take all this old alcohol there and why not utilise it and turn it into some drinkable alcohol. So I'm going to attempt to make gin using all this alcohol. So let's get into it. I've got a bottle of white wine, bottle of red wine, bit of Sauv Blanc and a bit of Pinot Noir mixed together. And I got a bit of, I don't know what that is, a bit of berry wine. Got a can of beer here, which it's been sitting around for way too long. Got a bit of mead. And last but not least, I'm not sure what this is, but it's been sitting around for donkey's years. So I'm going to turn it into some gin. I'm not sure the alcohol content overall in here, but with the mix of wine, which is sitting around about 14%, and beer sitting around anywhere from 6 to 8%, probably going to end up with around about, at a stab, 9 to 10% ABV inside the distillation. So this is the 𝗼𝗄𝗏 Pro. It's a fantastic machine because it's so easy to use. It has two modes. It has a reflux mode, which basically I'll be using to strip all this alcohol out of the beverages in here and turn that into pure spirit. And once I've made the pure spirit, I'm going to show you how to turn that spirit into really nice gin. So two modes. Tonight we're going to run it on reflux mode to begin with. Here it goes, just kicked in. Now this is a fan driven still, so you don't need any water to make it condense. It basically just draws air in here. It has a condenser inside, and the steam condenses against the cold air that's been drawn in, and out of here comes your spirit. So yeah, we'll let that heat up, and we'll come back for the distillation run, and I'll show you how that's done. Coming up to a boil now, and the distillation is automatically going to start. So if we keep an eye on this, basically we have a 4-shots jar here, and this is going to collect all of the methanols, basically the poisonous alcohols that we don't want in the distillation. So the beauty of this machine is that it does that for you. Moving forward though, we will come into what's called the heads, so we want to remove that as well. It's just starting to kick in here. As you can see, the 4-shots jar is starting to fill slowly. There we go, and that's all the bad stuff. Okay folks, so the collection 4-shot vial here is full, and we're just starting to run into the heads here. It's quite a smell of volatile fingernail polish remover. It doesn't smell clean to me, so we're going to keep going on the heads run here and remove all of that before we start collecting into the hearts. Okay, so the alcohol's starting to change here. It's starting to move away from the real acetone sort of smell and move into sort of wet socks. So swapping out all these jars as we go is sort of like not putting all your eggs in one basket type thing. So if I find that one of these jars is good stuff, then I can move that into the main section of the hearts, which gives you more efficiency, so you're not throwing away good stuff. So that's why taking small collections like this is a good idea. Basically, these three here are definite rubbish. That's heads, and I do not want to be drinking that. It's not going to be good for my final product. So I'll just let that run a bit more into that jar, and then we'll compare these two. And once we're happy, then we'll run into a big jar and collect all the hearts. In fact, I'm going to collect all the hearts and all the tails tonight into one jar, because this will actually switch itself off. So instead of waiting for 4 hours for the distillation or 5 hours for the distillation, I'm just going to collect the tails and the hearts into one jar, and then when I come to the pot still, the next step, I'm going to cut the tails off at the end. So we'll talk about that later on. Right, what does this smell like now? Oh, running out of jars here. That smells clean to me. Not a lot of difference, but I think I'm going to discard that one as it's minimal. So yeah, now we're into the hearts. I'm pretty happy with that. That's smelling pretty clean. So we'll pour that into there. And there, yeah, we'll let it roll. So yeah, I'm just going to let this roll for the rest of the night. It'll switch itself off, which is the beauty about the 𝗃𝗃. I'm not sure how much we're going to collect here, but I'm assuming we'll get probably 500 mils, maybe a bit more of high grade spirit. And then yeah, tomorrow we'll run it on pot still mode with some botanicals and make some tasty gin. Alrighty. Right, so that's it. I'm signing off for tonight. Good night. Rightio, so yeah, we're back here on day 2. So last night I just let this go to work its way through. It went through into the tails and brought through some tails into the jar here, and I've measured the percentage of alcohol with 𝗃𝗃 𝗃𝗃 here, and we got, I'll do it again for you, it is, I think I remember rightly, 86%. I don't know if you can see that, but 86% ABV, alcohol by volume. So there'll be, I'm pretty happy with that, considering I let it run into the tail end of the distillation, which I'm not worried about because I'm going to redistill it. So on pot still mode. So I'll talk about that in a second. But basically, what we do here first is we change our tip here, which is a reflux tip, and we put in our pot still tip. So they're both sort of machined slightly different. One's a reflux, one's a pot still. So yeah, we want to put the pot still one on, and that will allow to bring flavour and aroma through from the distillation. The next step is to remove the leftover water and wash that was left over, the beer and the wine, all the water solids basically. So I've given the boiler a good clean out in here. I've also given this a rinse out. There are saddles, stainless steel and copper saddles that sit inside during the reflux. So all you do is tip that upside down, tip those out, and basically that gives you a hollow condenser here, and that's going to allow all the flavour and the aroma to come through into the distillation with our gin. So talking about our gin, so we've got our alcohol here, which is sitting at 86%. Now what we want to do, that we want to water that back for pot distillation. So I'm going to tip that in here. How do we water it back? Well, it's sitting at 86, so if I add the same amount of water, good drinking water too, you want to use water that you're happy drinking. I've got a carbon filter just to remove chlorine, and I'm happy with that. So if I add about the same amount of water, that should give us roughly 45, if my calculations are right. I'm terrible at maths. So we put our alcometer in there. Bang on! Ha! Bang on 40. So that's pretty much what we're looking for. You won't be able to see that, but it is floating at 40% alcohol. So here we've got some botanicals. This is 𝗝𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗂𝗂𝗏 Gin Botanicals, and this contains a blend of juniper berries, citrus peel, lemon and orange, coriander seeds, licorice root, and dried mint leaves. So this is going to have a bit of a twist with the mint on it. You can put these directly into your, this is a little basket which sits inside the 𝗝𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏, and the steam will pass through the botanicals. But I find the best idea to getting flavour into your gin is, one second, to macerate. So what you do, well, this is what I do, macerate. Take a mortar and pestle and crush some of this up. So I'm going to take about half the bag and crush half of it, and that's going to release a bit more of the aroma and flavours out of the berries, which are quite firm, so they have a good skin on them. It's quite hard to get a lot of flavour out of something that has a tough skin. So we're just going to crack those open. The coriander is going to get a bit of a crack as well. So basically I'm going to tip all these into my 40% alcohol mix here, and I'm going to let that sit overnight for about 24 hours. You could let it sit for 48 hours, it's up to you, but obviously the longer the better, you're going to get more flavour out of it. So yeah, I'm going to leave that for 24 hours and we're going to run that through the still. But actually I'm going to run this through the still tomorrow night. Tonight, here's something I prepared earlier. So I did this yesterday. I had some alcohol, and you can see the colour there. Now basically that's been sitting there for about 30 hours. So we're going to tip this into the pot. A bit of goodness in there. Let's rinse that out. Alrighty. There we go. Condenser on. And just for a bit of extra flavour, I'm going to fill this up as well. I'm going to put some of those botanicals in the basket, like that. Job done. Cap on. Alrighty, so now what I need to do is turn on our 𝗄𝗃 Pro, turn it on, and then hold it down until it goes purple. That is now in pot still mode, and all we have to do is wait for this to come up to a boil inside, and then we're going to do some cuts. So yeah, I'll be back when this gets the temperature. Alright folks, so it's just kicked in here, it's come up to a boil, and the 4 shots jar is starting to fill up. So we'll see how long that takes. It's starting to look pretty cloudy, so that means we've got a lot of botanicals in there. A lot of botanicals can cause cloudiness just from all the oils from the juniper, from the coriander, and the botanicals in there. So not worried about that. We'll see what happens. Actually, it's starting to clear out now, and then we'll be into the cuts. There will be some odd flavours that come out at the start, so we want to keep them separate. Hence I've got a heap of jars here, and I'm going to collect into little jars until we're happy with the result that's coming out. Okay, so it's just starting here, and the smells that I'm getting out of here are sort of quite volatile. So I am going to switch this over here. It's starting to change a little bit, and I want to get a differential between the two jars here, so you'll be able to smell jar 1, jar 2, and so on. Starting to smell like gin now, so I'm going to move to the 3rd jar. So I've got jar 1, jar 2. See if we can smell the difference between these two. This one's actually a bit more citrusy straight away. This one here is not good. That's rubbery, sort of smoky. I don't know what's going on there. It's really starting to clean out now. So I'm going to switch again. Jar 3, jar 4. So we'll do it that way. Yeah, that one's 𝗄𝗃. So we'll call that one our faints, or our stuff that we're going to ditch, basically. So now we've got we're going to be able to smell the difference between this one and this one. Still can't quite make that one out. I'm going to let that run for a bit, and hopefully it's going to clean up shortly, and then we'll be into the hearts. There's no other way to do this but smell, taste. We can taste it once it starts getting into the good stuff, yeah, it's your nose and your senses that will tell you what is good and what's not good. So that is the art of distilling. Jar 5. You can really smell the citrus coming through there. I'm going to taste that. Well, serious amount of juniper in the flavour there, which is actually tasting quite nice. Let's see if this tastes any different. I think it's actually, I'm going to start collecting into this jar, because I think we're actually onto the good stuff now. We're into the hearts. Definitely not sort of that flabby sort of rubbery sort of aroma. Same with that one. I'm not worried about throwing too much of this out. I'd rather collect a really nice piece in the middle, which is totally drinkable, than have any amount of heads or something that doesn't taste quite right ruin a whole bottle of gin. So we're really into the good stuff here, we're into the hearts. I'm pretty confident by taste that this is the good stuff we're into now. So if I taste a lot of these other ones here, there's a very sort of harsh bite to it. It sort of tastes sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just got a really sort of offensive bite to it. Whereas if I taste this coming off the still now, it's smooth, and it doesn't have sort of any hot bite or any harshness to it. So yeah, we can let this go for a while now. I'm pretty confident we're going to be collecting, you know, a couple of jars of hearts here, so we'll line them up. Almost the full jar. Going to switch it over here. Still tasting pure and good, just like gin should. Alright, so this jar is getting relatively full here, and I'm fairly confident that most of the hearts is going to be in here. So what I want to do now is step the jars down smaller, so that when I come to the tails, if I accidentally miss the cut, then I'm in this little jar and I've still got this really good stuff over here. So this is probably my main heart here. Who knows how long it's going to go for, but yeah, try not to keep all your eggs in one basket sort of scenario. So yeah, I should have done this in front of the TV. Would have been sitting there watching a movie, tasting some gin. Brilliant. What more could you want? So we're getting through the distillation now. We're, I would say, probably at least 3/4 of the way through, and I've just been tasting the spirit coming off, and right now I'm getting the mint. So that's coming through, getting close to the tails. It's really nice. I'm quite enjoying the difference in flavours between a lot of these jars here. So I've got the first ones coming through were quite very juniper, high on the juniper, and the middle, then it came through to citrus, and now we're into the mint. So I mean, blending it all together at the end is going to be what the gin will be, but it's interesting how at the different stages of the distillation you do have different aromas and the different compounds coming through. So yeah, totally exciting. We're into the tails now, so pretty much my last jar, which was number 8 over here, I saw the distillation start to slow down, and then I put my trial jar underneath, and the taste of this is actually really completely different to the taste of this one, and the aroma also. So right now coming out of here, it actually tastes really watery. There's not a lot to it. It's got a little bit of flavour, but I don't really want to add that to my rest of my takings. I don't want to dilute it. Yeah, happy days. I've got a few jars here, 8 in total, and I'm going to leave this until the morning. My palate just won't handle the tasting anymore, so I don't want to blend these until I've got a fresh palate. Come back in the morning, smell them all, taste them all, and then we'll go in and we'll blend them all together and make a bottle of gin. So yeah, exciting. I'm signing off now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so yeah, we're back here. This is the day after, so we're back here with all the cuts that I've made. Hopefully my palate is feeling a lot more up to this challenge than last night. My palate was completely blown. So yeah, now we've got all of these cuts here, and what we're going to do is going to blend them together so that we get a good balance of flavour, and everything tastes great. That's what we're looking for. So I've written down here the numbers of our cuts from the start to the finish. So this will be heads, this will be tails. So as I was talking about last night, pretty sure these heads aren't good for drinking. I don't like the smell of that. It smells a bit sort of nail polishy. Number 2 smells a bit hot, so that's sort of moving away from nail polish but moving into sort of what sort of fusel sort of alcohols. There's no popping of any botanicals there, so I'm gonna say I'm not going to use that one either. Number 3, it's starting to get better, so I might taste this one. I'll think about that one. It's a bit harsh, I think. Number 4. Man, that is full of juniper. That one. Very resinous. Unsure about that one as well. Let's see what these ones come out like. So this is number 5. It smells okay. This is totally down to your palate. And this alcohol is starting to taste fairly sweet. So I'm actually enjoying the flavour of this one. It doesn't taste like it's got any sort of rough alcohol in there. I'll just sit on that one. Let's see what number 6 smells like. Mint. What does it taste like? Wow, that's so much smoother than any of these. Go back to number 5. It's a bit rough. That one there is slightly rough. I don't know, it might blend in okay, but this one here definitely. Yep, that one definitely. And number 8, I'm definitely keen on that one. All 3 of these have sort of a very sort of smooth finish to them. Even though it's sitting at, I haven't measured the alcohol yet, but it's probably sitting at around about 70 to 80. This one here is quite watery, so that's where the tail started to come in. It doesn't taste bad, but I think it might dilute the flavour. So I'm pretty set on number 6, 7 and 8. So let's use those ones. Let's not ruin a good bottle of gin by putting in something that doesn't taste good. So we're going to blend these 3 together. Might need a bigger jar. What do we got here? 500. Let's say 550 mils of spirit. So if we measure that, why did I fill that up for? Get on you, Dan. Right, let's. Oh, not bad. Look at the 𝗲𝗿𝗂𝗃 jug. Doesn't spill a drop. We need to get the gravity so we know what we can water it back to. Stick my alcohol meter in there, give it a spin. 80. That's definitely 80. 80% ABV. Okay, so we stick this here in our blending jar. So we've got 550 mils at 80. Well, if we add 550 mils of good drinkable water, we'll end up at 40%. So I've got some filtered water here, straight out of my carbon filter. Sorry. I might just do a little bit less, so that we end up at about 42. 42 or 45 is good. I like that strength. Just gives you a bit more flavour. If you're watering it back anyway, then you know, with some tonic or whatever, you can have it as strong as you like. Right, it's got a bit of cloudiness to it, but that might be just due to the amount of botanicals that went in. No, it's not looking bad actually. Right, well, there's our gin. Now I'm going to bottle it into this little guy here. Oh well, doesn't fit, but I have something special to put that in. Couldn't get it all in, so let's go into a glass. Give it a sample. This is going to get better in, you know, about 5 days time. So we'll let that sit for 5 days. It's going to get a lot better than it is. It's probably on the rough edge right now. Man, it's got some aroma. Smells like gin. Wow, man, that's got some potency. So the alcohols taste really good in here. I can't taste you know, any sort of sharp or sort of alcoholic sort of flavours that you would determine as being sort of fusel or you know, nail polish sort of aromas. That needs some watering down with some tonic. Yeah, so talking about tonic, if you do like your tonic, which I do, there's this kit here by 𝗝𝗵𝗂𝗧𝗵𝗂𝗧 again. It's a tonic water flavouring kit. I thought I'd give it a go. It's got real quinine in it, and you do need a keg to use this. It's not a bottled conditioned product, but I thought I'd give it a go. So let's make a G&T. Alright, got some ice, mint, give that a smack. And down here I have a keg of tonic. Now let's pour some of that in there with our homemade gin. Second moment of truth, here we go. Oh yeah, that is good. Needs a bit more gin. Probably watered it down slightly too much. Now with that tonic water, and just that little bit of mint on the nose there, beautiful. Cheers everyone, thanks for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If I can share anything more, just get in touch. We're on Instagram, Facebook. You can flick us an email or give us a call. And yeah, basically love to hear from you. Any comments you've got to share with about gin making or distilling or anything in brewing in general. So yeah, please leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, and we hope to hear from you soon. Alright, happy Thursday everybody, enjoy, thanks very much.